This is slightly frustrating, guys. Please, please. Oh my god, I didn't like that sound, but hopefully it just came loose. And hello and welcome to another Xterra video where I work on my truck. Sometimes I'm successful, sometimes I'm not. And on today's day I'm gonna be doing some more upgrades. You can say it's a performance upgrade to my truck. I'm gonna be replacing my throttle body. A while ago I tried to clean it up because it was acting up, and it got better, but at the same time I was looking around to buy a new throttle body. Of course you can buy a cheaper one from Amazon or somewhere else for about $100 and so, or you can try to get a original from Nissan, which is very expensive. And at the same time, as I was looking around, a Z1, they just came out with a new, improved, upgraded, bigger size throttle body. And since I was helping out my friend with his truck a lot, he was very kind to me, and I got a throttle body from Z1 for me. So that's what I have in here, a new throttle body from Z1. So let's open it up, let's see what's inside, what I may have to get as well, and let's start working on replacing my throttle body. Alright, so let's open up the box and let's see what's inside. We might need to replace some bolts, or maybe not. Alright, got a lot of paper. We got a thank you note, that's always nice. We have our new modified, bigger on one side intake coupler. Over here we have some hardware with the new hose and a plug-in, and of course the new throttle body is in here. And this is actually by Hitachi, so it's actually a good stuff. Because as far as I know, Hitachi is the one that manufactures parts for Nissan, so this is pretty much like OEM stuff. Open it up, all nicely packed. All right, and here it is, a new throttle body. Yep, that definitely looks bigger. Of course I'm gonna clean it up before I put it. I'm gonna use some brake throttle body cleaner, gonna spray this all up so there is no debris or of any kind. But yeah, let's take a look what's in here. We have our plug adapter. They also give you a new hose, so that's nice. Doesn't really gonna match my colors now, but it's all right. And let's see what's inside here. We have our new gaskets. That's pretty cool. So I was concerned that I might need to get a new gasket, but we have a new gasket. Nice. We have this is the bolts that we're gonna use to secure the throttle body to the bracket, to the spacer that we have over here. But then we're gonna have to reuse the old bolts to secure it in here, which I may have to replace it. We'll see how bad or good they are. But yeah, so far everything looks good. So let me pop the hood and let's start taking everything apart. Now in my case it's always more difficult because I have a lot of more stuff in a way, but in your case should be easier. So I'm gonna have to remove these hoses, and I have to take out this air intake. I also have this auxiliary water pump, so I have to remove that, and then we can get to our 4 5mm hex Allen wrench key bolts over here that we're gonna be removing. They look a little bit rusty, so hopefully they're not gonna give me a lot of trouble. Now supposedly you have to remove them in certain order, crisscross, and then you have to bolt them on the same pattern, crisscross. I'm gonna look it up, but basically I think to screw it back you have to start with this one, then the bottom one, then you jump to the top one and the bottom one again. But since this is plastic, just gotta be very mindful and very careful. So let me prep the surface first. Let me remove all of this out of the way, and I'm gonna see if I can actually be able to remove this. Right, so the air intake is out. So now we can disconnect this connector over here, which should be hopefully easy. Just unplug it, hopefully. There we go, that's out. All right, so all of this is out. So now we also got to remove these two hoses. Now be mindful, there is probably antifreeze in there, so it might leak. So you have two options. You can either drain some of it from the radiator so it goes below that point, or you can just start carefully on removing these hoses. Maybe put a little rag underneath or a little bucket or something to catch it. So we'll see. So for now I'm just gonna start removing this, and I'll see if it's gonna start leaking a lot or not. Alright, let's see if I can remove this without making too much mess. Yep, too much mess. Too much mess. Alright, so next step. Gonna relieve some pressure from here. Okay, as you can see, it's full, so of course it's gonna leak over there. Alright, now at least we know that there's too much pressure in there. So, gonna grab a bucket, gonna drain some of it, and then we're gonna continue. So, I'll be right back.
A few moments later.
Alright guys, so this is how much I pretty much drain. Maybe it's a quarter of a gallon or so. Maybe I should have used a clean bucket so I can reuse it, but I still have some spare antifreeze. So now let's try to remove this hose, and let's see and hope nothing spreads out now. Yeah, now it's good. Just gonna keep this one up here, and now I'm gonna remove the second hose. Okay, all right, and the second hose is out. Nice. Gonna try to push it to the side for now. All right, so now I can try to unbolt all of these 4 bolts, and hopefully they're all gonna come out easy. With a 5mm, I'm gonna try to push it in there as far as I can, and before that I actually try to clean the holes in there with a skinny screwdriver so it goes in better, deeper. So let's hope I don't strip anything. Wow, that's a lot of resistance. I do like that. Wow, that's a lot of resistance. I don't know why they had to put these kind of screws in here. Why can't they just use like a M10 with a regular nut and bolt? There's easy place to access it. Just a regular, put in the regular bolt in there so you can catch it with a wrench or socket. Oh, God help me. All right, let me work with this carefully. Let's see what can be done. And the problem is I cannot even spray any PB blaster anywhere. This is plastic, this is encased into aluminum. So I don't know, did I say it already or not, but why in the world could not they use like a 10mm or 8mm or just a regular nut over here, so you can put a wrench extension or something and take it off? You have to deal with this little crap. I think I kind of broke this one loose. Yeah, this one is moving. But as you can see, I have to use extension screwdriver, and as I'm trying to break this loose, the whole Allen wrench is kind of bent, so I don't know what kind of pressure, how much force they use over here, and like you cannot even get to the other parts over here. Gotta make sure you bang it in there, gotta make sure it sits tight. This is slightly frustrating, guys. Let me tell you that. So gotta be super careful and hope it's gonna come off. Please, please. Oh my God, I didn't like that sound, but hopefully it just came loose, and I hope I didn't break. I hope I'm not breaking the washers that embedded in that plastic. But at this point, I'm just, I have no choice. I have to try to remove this. If this breaks, I'm gonna have to take the whole, I'm gonna have to buy the whole new intake manifold, I guess. I don't know. But this is just kind of beyond me. Why people do stuff like that. So let's hope. Come on, oh my God. I'm so scared doing this, not gonna lie. Come on, Allen key, hold on me, don't break. Okay, let's see if I can do this one. Ay, come on. And this is like the hardest nut to get to. It's not looking good. I feel like it's starting to spin inside. Great. Well, now what? Of course, the hardest bolt to get to, not this one, not this one, not even that one over there. This one had to strip inside. Even though I tried to be as careful as possible, doing very careful, but you have to unscrew it anyway, so... But it's spinning around here. So this is kind of not good. So now I have no idea what to do. I gotta figure out how the hell I'm gonna take this bolt out. You cannot even grab it with a vice grip or anything. There is no room over here. If that was to be this one or this one, yeah, I could have done something. But not with that one. I don't know sometimes why people do stuff like that. Why? Why couldn't they put a regular bolt in here? There's plenty of space. Just put a little bolt like that. You can put a socket on it and that's it. No, has to be special. Alright guys, I'll see you in a bit. So I don't know what's the deal with all these bolts, but they're all covered in this white stuff. I don't think they put a thread locker on it, or maybe they did, and that's why it's hard to come off.
Much later.
Alright guys, I actually got it. I actually got it. Wow, that was crazy. Oof, this is dirty. Unfortunately, I did not have the extractor kit with me from the beginning, so I made a quick run to AutoZone. They didn't have it for rent. I had to buy one, and this was 3/8. So I hammered it in. And another thing, these holes actually go all the way through, so I put some WD-40 from the other side before I left, but it didn't go much in anyways. But I definitely need to invest into some extractor kits. But I'm so glad I was able to take this out. Wow, I was actually slightly nervous and shaken because this was my last resort. So now I'm just gonna clean it up over here a little bit, and it's time to install the new one. It's gonna clean it up over here. It's a little bit dirty. Now this gasket, we can take it out because luckily Z1, they provide us with a new gasket. So let's start assembling all the new stuff in. All right, let's put the new gasket. There we go. Fits perfect, and it's actually a little bit wider, so as we put it in, it's probably gonna compress. Start putting a spacer in first. Now I'm gonna use the new hardware they provide, but I also add in the lock washer. It was not included, but this is a M6mm bolts, and since the old throttle body had it, so I guess I'm just gonna add it as well. Alright, just gonna align everything up, and hopefully everything bolts in without any issues. Alright, now I'm gonna start tightening it up in a crisscross pattern. On a Nissan manual, there is a certain procedure you're supposed to tighten up one bolt, then another, then another, then another, but I think they just want you to make sure that you don't tighten one completely all the way and then you do the other one. And so basically just go crisscross and it should be fine. So that's what I'm gonna do, but I'm also gonna add the schematics as to how you're supposed to tighten it up according to the Nissan manual. And the spacer bracket is in. I made these bolts tight just by hand, whatever I felt was right. Keep in mind this is plastic, so just don't go too crazy. I think it's tight enough. So now I can put the second gasket over there. So there we go. Our second brand new gasket. Nice. And now let's put the new throttle body in. And just look at this, guys, how dirty it is. Like I said, I tried to clean it before. On this side it came out okay-ish, but over here still dirty. But that's alright, since now we have a brand new one. Now of course I'm gonna clean this one now before putting it in. Somebody touched it with the fingers and it wasn't me. And of course nothing ever goes as planned. You're trying to do something better, but it's not gonna work out. As you can see, the screws are sticking out over here, but not over here, because there is not enough space to clear for these washers in there. So unfortunately I have to take them all out and just hope it's not gonna come off. Take them all out and put a throttle body in, because with them sticking out, of course it's not gonna clear for the throttle body. Now of course, unfortunately, I'm not gonna be able to use these bolts, because they got, especially this one, got completely destroyed, but luckily I was able to take it out. Wow. So what I did, I went to store, I picked up M6. This is M6 50mm bolts. So that's what I'm gonna use, and they're grade 8, so they should be alright. Of course I got the washers, and yeah, so I'm gonna use that now. Let's see, let's hope it works. And I pretty much have, and I have enough space over here to put them everywhere. I don't know why they didn't do it from the factory, and you see they're long enough. So let's align this and bolt this in place. So gonna do it by hand first, make sure they all go in straight. All right. And now I'm gonna tighten them up in crisscross upper cross pattern. Make sure that everything goes in nice and smooth and tight. But keep in mind, this is aluminum block, so don't go too crazy on it. If you strip the threads in there, I don't think Z1 is gonna send you one for free. All right, that feels good. Nice. So now I'm gonna connect the hoses back in place over here. This line is too short now, because this making a turn over here. If that was to be straight, we could still use it, because on the old one it just comes to the side, but on a new one it goes different way. So unfortunately I'm gonna have to get rid of this red hose. That's why they include a longer hose, but it's black hose, but it's okay. It just, yeah, it is what it is. So gonna remove that hose, put a new one, longer one, and yeah, let's continue, guys. So I routed this cable. I figured go under so it doesn't bounce over here. Besides, I have to put my auxiliary pump in here. Now this one became a little bit longer, but that's all right. So now we can get our plug and connect it over here, which is very simple. This one we just plug in here. It should snap, hopefully. I think it should snap, right? There you go, it snapped in. And now we're gonna plug in this little plug. There you go, nice. Now this I'm probably gonna zip tie all together so it doesn't move around too much. And these cables, I wish they were slightly different, but there's no way to do this plug, so it is what it is. So let's put our adapter over here, our new Z1 adapter, which is slightly bigger. All right, there we go. And now we're gonna put the air intake back and just make sure everything fits in place perfect. So let me do that. Now, since we drained some antifreeze, I'm gonna add some more, just a little bit, well, until this gets full. And then after I drive, if it goes down, and I'm gonna add a little more, no big deal. All right, that should be plenty. Now just gonna double check to make sure that everything is connected, nothing is loose, nothing is rattles. Actually, I wrapped this hose over here in red, and the other one you cannot even see, though the one is black, so it's all good. We lost one red, but we gained a red over here. I think this, we'll see. So, like I said, gonna double check, make sure everything is right, and gonna power it up. Now, to reprogram this unit, there is two methods you can use. You can use it manual by reload process. It takes a little bit, it takes a while, a little bit of a steps. I'm not gonna do that. I'm actually gonna include the link to Ray the Kai guy. He actually did already. You can just watch that video and follow along. In my case, I'm gonna do it the easy way. I already had enough struggle with this, so I'm gonna just do it with a scan tool. So should be quite nice and easy process. So let me do that instead. Now you probably were telling me from the beginning, come on, use the extractor tool, use the extractor socket, but I didn't hear you guys. You gotta scream louder next time, all right? Oh wow. So, but I'm definitely gonna buy a bigger set now. So just gonna double check, make sure everything is in place, everything is nice, and relearn the throttle body and start it up. All right, so let's do our throttle body relearn procedure with our scan tool, just to make my life easy. So let's go to the service function. So let's put the car in on position. Let's go to the throttle body relearn. Let's go to the Nissan. Switch ignition on, okay. Switch ignition is on, okay. Okay. Something is happening. Let's hope it's gonna work. Okay, it's communicating. Let's do that. Let's do the idle. Start. All right, and I think we did it. So I'm gonna shut it off, and now let's start it and let's see how it's gonna run. Okay, also gonna check, make sure nothing is leaking outside. Gotta make sure nothing is leaking anywhere. But so far everything looks okay. So let's see once it warms up if it's gonna drop RPM or not, and then we're gonna try to see if I have to do the adjustments one more time. All right, and the truck is warming up, and the idle RPM are slowly lowering down, so that seems to be all right. Right now we're at like 1000, slightly below maybe 1000 RPMs, but it should be around 650 or something like that. So let's see if it's gonna go down and if it's gonna stay there. Maybe it's a little bit too high, so I'm gonna perform the relearn process one more time. All right, let's go throttle control. All right, and let's start. Okay, let's see. It's adjusting, and that's it. It's done. And it's done. Now it's idling much lower. It's not high RPMs. It's working, guys. This worked. So I was able to do the throttle reload with this launch, with this scan tool. Pretty nice. Very happy. Very happy. Alright guys, another project successfully done. It was a little bit of a headache because I was kind of concerned that I was not gonna be able to take that bolt out, but in the end I was able to take it out. Luckily, I'm so happy. I'm so glad. Everything got bolted back in place, everything got connected, the antifreeze was topped off, and yeah, the truck is running. Truck is running pretty good, very smooth. I'm very happy. So hopefully now the truck is gonna work even better with that new throttle body, with a new clean throttle body, but only time will show. But like I said, everything is fine, everything is good now. So as always, I'm gonna leave all the links in the description to that particular throttle body that I use, in case you guys want to check it out. I would recommend to spray double PV blaster from the other side, it might help, and replace those bolts if you can. But other than that, everything else went alright. So on this note, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, I hope you might find it helpful, and as always, until next time, everybody, bye.